James Joyce is the greatest Irish novelist and this century's most influential writer. Born and bred in Dublin, he wrote most of his books while in exile in Europe. It was Joyce's obsessive fascination with Ireland, its people, and their history that was the subject matter of all his writing. The publication in Paris of Ulysses in 1922 is a landmark in literary history. Written over a 7-year period, it was revolutionary in concept and execution. Joyce made the city of Dublin the center of this comic masterpiece. Dubliners, their way of life, are celebrated in a record of a single day, June 16, 1904. Stately, plump Buck Mulligan came from the stairhead, bearing a bowl of lather on which a mirror and a razor lay crossed. We are atop the gun platform of the Martello Tower at Sandy Cove, overlooking Dublin Bay. The stairhead in that opening sentence of Ulysses is the one from which I just emerged. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, same time of day as when the book begins. My name is Patrick Ryan, and for the next half hour, I'll be taking you for a walking tour of Dublin to visit some of the places that James Joyce brought so vividly to life in Ulysses. When Ulysses opens, Buck Mulligan, a medical student, is shaving, while Stephen Dedalus, a teacher, looks on. As they talk, we sense an atmosphere of hostility between the two. Stephen is brooding, obviously pained over the death of his mother. She had asked him to kneel and pray for her, but he had refused her deathbed request. Behind the mocking banter of this opening scene, the real action takes place within the mind and conscience of Stephen. As one critic said, he's bitter and brittle, this young man, this artist, not at all unlike the young James Joyce. Buck Mulligan looked out from here, over the water, and described what he saw with these words: the snot-green sea, the scrotum-tightening sea, our great sweet mother. Ulysses often offended the polite sensibilities of the day, but the descriptions were accurate. James Joyce was determined to hold a mirror up to the Irish, no matter how uncomfortable it might make them. Regarding the book's alleged obscenity, Joyce once said, "If Ulysses isn't fit to read, life isn't fit to live."
Airs romped round him, nipping and eager airs. They are coming, waves, the white-maned sea-horses champing, bright wind bridled, the steeds of Manannán.
Chapter 3 of Ulysses is located on Sandymount Strand, 5 miles down the coast from the Martello Tower. Into this area, this space, walks Stephen deep in thought. Joyce took a particular pleasure in the challenge of writing this section, was very proud of his achievement. Change is the theme. He said everything changes. The sea, man, animals. The words change too. My definition of time and space are good. It is a chapter full of light, color, and sensation, the stream of consciousness of Stephen's philosophic mind.
Am I walking into eternity along Sandymount Strand? Crush, crack, crick, crick. Wild sea money. He had come nearer the edge of the sea, and wet sand slapped his boots. The new air greeted him, harping in wild nerves, wind of wild air of seeds of brightness. Here, I'm not walking out to the Kish lightship, am I? He stood suddenly, his feet beginning to sink slowly in the quaking soil. Turned back.
In Chapter 4, the clock goes back in time to its starting point, around 8 o'clock in the morning, and we cross the city north of the River Liffey to meet Joyce's greatest fictional creation.
Mr. Leopold Bloom ate with relish the inner organs of beasts and fowls. He liked thick giblet soup, nutty gizzards, a stuffed roast heart, liver slices fried with crust crumbs, fried hen cod's roes. Most of all he liked grilled mutton kidneys, which gave to his palate a fine tang of faintly scented urine.
Mr. Bloom is feeding the cat while preparing breakfast for his wife Molly. He's about to leave his home at number 7 Eccles Street, will not return until the early hours of the following morning. A Jew of Hungarian origin, he's 38 years of age and has a job collecting advertisements for a daily newspaper. As he wanders around Dublin about his business, all his actions and thoughts are recorded, so that by the end of the day, we know more about Leopold Bloom than any other character in fiction.
By lorries along Sir John Rogerson's quay, Mr. Bloom walked soberly past Windmill Lane, Leask's, the linseed crusher, the postal telegraph office. Could have given that address too. And past the sailor's home. He turned from the morning noises of the quayside and walked through Lime Street.
Arriving on Westland Row, Bloom picks up a letter at the post office. After reading the letter in the seclusion of the underpass beneath the train tracks, he enters All Hallows Church from the rear and watches Mass from the communion to the end of the service. Bloom then makes directly for Sweeney's chemist shop, where he orders a skin lotion for Molly and buys a bar of soap for 4 pence. The chapter ends with Bloom contemplating a bath at the Turkish and Warm Baths in Leinster Street. The Irish way of death is really very extraordinary. In the 6th of the 18 chapters in Ulysses, Joyce does the Irish funeral unforgettably. At about 11 o'clock, Bloom joins a small gathering that has come to bury Paddy Dignam. Dignam, who lived here at number 9 Newbridge Avenue in Sandymount, has died suddenly from a stroke. Mr. Bloom travels to Glasnevin Cemetery in a horse cab. With him are 3 other friends of Paddy Dignam's, Jack Power, Martin Cunningham, and Stephen's father, Simon Dedalus. A major theme that runs throughout the book is highlighted in this funeral procession. While an Irishman, Bloom remembers Jewish by race. That makes him a perennial outsider.
What way is he taking us? Mr. Power asked through both windows. Irish Town, Martin Cunningham said. Rings End, Brunswick Street. Mr. Dedalus nodded, looking out. That's a fine old custom, he said. I'm glad to see it has not died out.
During the carriage ride, incidentally, this is one of the only times in Ulysses when Bloom is not walking, important characters cross paths with Bloom. This is a device which is used throughout the book. Bloom sees Stephen Dedalus walking, mentions the fact to Stephen's father. The others see Blazes Boylan, mention the fact to Bloom, pretends not to notice. He knows that the jaunty Boylan has an assignation with his wife later in the day. So as the carriage moves, characters whom we will meet throughout the day move into and then out of focus. Don't forget, that easily could have happened in 1904 in Dublin, which was then a small city, 300,000 people.
Do they know what they cart out here every day? Must be 20 or 30 funerals every day. Then Mount Jerome for the Protestants. Funerals all over the world, everywhere, every minute. Shoveling them under by the cartload double quick. Thousands every hour. Too many in the world. How many? All these here once walked round Dublin, faithful departed. As you are now, so once were we.
After the funeral, Bloom returns to the city and checks into the office of the Freeman's Journal to talk to his editor about a change in an advertisement for a client. Preoccupied with the lecherous Blazes Boylan, whom he knows is going to pay Molly a visit in the course of the afternoon, he crosses the Liffey with the intention of going to the National Library. Troubled in thought about his home life, Bloom walks the city.
This is the very worst hour of the day. Vitality, dull, gloomy. Hate this hour. Feel as if I'd been eaten and spewed. I was happier then. Or was that I? Or am I now I? 28 I was. She 23. When we left Lombard Street West, something changed. Could never like it again after Rudy. Can't bring back time, like holding water in your hand.
It is lunchtime, and for Bloom, there is for the moment no further business to be done.
Get a light snack in Davy Burns. Stopgap. Keep me going. Had a good breakfast. He entered Davy Burns. Moral pub. He doesn't chat. Stands a drink now and then. But in leap year, once in 4. Cashed a check for me once.
A good bit of the language of this pub scene has to do with drinking. Joyce liked to drink. He drank wine, mostly at night. As his biographer Richard Ellman writes, he drank with a nice combination of purpose and relaxation. During his convivial evenings, he filled his mind with the way people talked and behaved, storing up what he needed for his writings. When he drank, his behavior could be sometimes comically unpredictable. His daughter-in-law once said, liquor went to his feet, not to his head. There's a painting of Joyce here in Davy Burns. As one Irishman said to me recently, Still a good pub, this. At any rate, for Bloom, the taste of the wine stimulates his memory. He recalls in a sensual description the taste of kissing Molly and a memorable loving frolic with her on Hote Hill before their marriage. After his light snack, Bloom heads for the National Library, only to be diverted in a moment of panic by the sight of Blaze's Boylan.
Hurry. Walk quietly. Moment more, my heart. His hand looking for the... Where did I put? Found in his hip pocket. Soap. Lotion. Have to call. Tepid paper. Stuck. Soap. There, yes. Gate. Safe.
This handsome building has great historical significance for the Irish literary movement. James Joyce may well have rejected the direction of this movement, but most Irish writers and scholars of distinction, William Butler Yeats, J.M. Synge, Sean O'Casey, at some time walked and talked on the steps of this library. Buck Mulligan arrives here in this scene, as does Mr. Bloom, who once again crosses paths with Stephen without meeting him. While Stephen discusses a theory on Shakespeare with a group of distinguished Dubliners, Bloom copies the ad he needs from the Kilkenny People and leaves about 3 p.m., passing Stephen yet again. In the hour between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m., most of the characters in Ulysses appear. Everybody is on the move, on foot or by tram. In 19 carefully penned portraits of single or several characters, Joyce celebrates the local detail of Dublin's city life that was so much a part of his work. Joyce once remarked that he was more interested in the street names of Dublin than in the riddle of the universe, and boasted that if Dublin were ever destroyed, it could be reconstructed stone by stone from his book. Bloom once thought good puzzle would be cross Dublin without passing a pub.
Each was so cheery, charmed my eye and won my heart. Full of hope and all delighted, none could feel more blessed than I. All on earth I then could wish for was near how to live and die. But alas, 'twas idle dreaming, and the dream too soon hath flown. No one ray of hope is gleaming. I am lost, yes, I am lost, for she is gone.
Come all up together.
Stand and deliver, says he. That's all right, citizen, says Joe. Friends here. Pass, friends, says he. I'd give over your bloody cotton, Joe, says I. I've a thirst on me I wouldn't sell for half a crown. Give it a name, citizen, says Joe. Wine of the country, says he. What's yours, says Joe. Ditto, Macanaspy, says I. 3 pints, Terry, says Joe. And how's the old heart, citizen, says he. Never better a corra, says he.
Down at Margate, looking very charming, you are sure to meet those girls, dear girls, those lovely seaside girls, with sticks they steer and promenade appear to give the boys a treat. In piqué silks and lace, they tip you quite a playful wink. It always is the case, you seldom stop to think. You fall in love, of course, upon the spot, but not with one girl, always with a lot. Those lovely seaside girls, all dimples, smiles, and curls. Your head, it's simply whirls. They look all right, complexions pink and white. They've diamond rings and dainty feet, golden hair, braided feet, lace and grace and lots of feet.
For Bloom, this has been a tiring and troublesome day, and with a headache, he has retreated to the seashore for a breath of fresh air.
The summer evening had begun to fold the world in its mysterious embrace. Far away in the west, the sun was setting, and the last glow of all too fleeting day lingered lovingly on sea and strand.
Three girls are enjoying the beach, along with several children. But Bloom has eyes only for the seductive Gertie McDowell. She returns his furtive curiosity.
The eyes that were fastened upon her set her pulses tingling. She looked at him a moment, meeting his glance, and a light broke in upon her. White-hot passion was in that face, passion silent as the grave, and it had made her his. At last they were left alone, without the others to pry and pass remarks, and she knew he could be trusted to the death, steadfast, a sterling man, a man of inflexible honor to his fingertips. His hands and face were working, and a tremor went over her.
On leaving Sandymount Strand, Bloom stops at Hollis Street Maternity Hospital to inquire after the progress of a Mrs. Purefoy. A group of boisterous medical students and their friends, including Stephen Dedalus, is gathered for drink and talk. Bloom yields to the invitation to join them. After a visit to Burke's Pub down the street, the party breaks up in disorder. Stephen, now very drunk, heads for the brothel district with a companion named Lynch. A worried Leopold Bloom follows the two young men at a distance. Nighttown, Chapter 15, is the longest and strangest episode in Ulysses. The setting is Bella Cohen's brothel in the red light district of Dublin. Joyce treats this section as a costume drama, full of disguises, fantasies, and hallucinations, both comic and terrifying. The dominant theme is the fatherly love and care of Bloom for Stephen. Though very tired, he guards the drunken Stephen from harm, and as he does, the vision of his dead son, Rudy, passes before his eyes.
Rudy!
Bloom has had a long and exhausting day, but he is still in better condition than Stephen, who has been drinking on an empty stomach. Compassionate as ever, he buys Stephen a coffee and bun at the cabman's shelter near Butt Bridge, and then Bloom and Stephen, juxtaposed symbolically as father and son, journey home wearily to Bloom's house at number 7 Eccles Street. In the kitchen, Bloom and Stephen drink some cocoa and talk. Stephen eventually departs, declining the offer of a bed for the night. Funny, we don't know where Stephen will go, but Bloom's travels have ended. He climbs into bed, and he and Molly talk a bit. He describes his day's activities, not totally accurately, not fooling Molly either. Molly remains awake, and it is she who has the last word, bringing Ulysses to an end with her famous soliloquy, The Odyssey of Her Mind.
The sun shines for you, he said the day we were lying among the rhododendrons on Howth Head, in the grey tweed suit and a straw hat. The day I got him to propose to me. Yes, 16 years ago. My God, after that long kiss, I near lost my breath. Yes. He said I was a flower of the mountain. Yes. And how he kissed me under the Moorish wall, and I thought, well, as well him as another, and then I asked him with my eyes to ask again. Yes. And then he asked me, would I? Yes, to say yes, my mountain flower. And first I put my arms around him, yes, and drew him down to me so he could feel my breasts all perfume, yes. And his heart was going like mad, and yes, I said, yes, I will. Yes.